Good morning, Mr. Law.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Michael Law. I am from CUNA and I'm representing myself. I stand here as a citizen whose taxes in 3 years have risen over 33%. I'm annoyed at local taxing districts and state government who are deaf and blind to the plight of the citizens they claim to represent and serve. Though I may fear giving offense to some here today, I am more fearful of my God who might take offense if I do not speak up. My intention was to come here to list to you the long train of abuses and usurpations of all these governments, from the lowliest mosquito district to the state government. But like King George, I suppose that it is likely that our repeated petitions will be ignored and will be answered with an increase of injuries to we the people by not passing this bill and others, such as was done earlier this week by ignoring and killing sales tax repeal bills. This bill ought to pass just to begin the repairing of the injuries done to the people. I would like to make the point that concerns the local taxing districts, which they continue to emphasize, which is a loss of funds, a cut to their budgets, of which I really don't care. One of the most pointed charges made against King George at the time that we declared our independence, and which can easily be applied to local government today with the power to tax our property year in and year out, is that they have erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out our substance. We have a multitude of offices at the state and local level telling we the people how to build our houses, granting us permission to travel if we pay the proper fees, granting us permission to run our businesses if we pay the proper fees, stealing money from us through property taxes to pay for somebody else's recreation or reading addiction, and a plethora of other pet programs. All these offices and officers could easily be cut and should be cut. You should not be concerned if they won't have enough, because we the people have had enough. Government today exists to tell each citizen how to live our lives from cradle to grave, and then charges us for it. Government's advice is not even worth 2 cents, yet government charges us billions upon billions every year. Government has forgotten that its only proper role is to protect life, liberty, and property. Government has forgotten that governments are instituted among men deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Consent does not mean that an election grants government powers to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever, whether at the local or state level. Nevertheless, that seems to be the case. In conclusion, I would say this: property taxes are the worst form of all taxes. Not that I have met a tax that did not disgust me, particularly when I know that the taxes are mostly used for nothing but poppycock. We are not the local sharecroppers or tenant farmers of your land. It is my land, my property. But as long as property taxes exist, government assumes it is their land and that I work for you. This bill is a good start, but it must end with the elimination of property taxes. We will no longer have our petitions slighted as in the past. If you will not start the process here and now, we the people may act and seek to pull down this form of government. So I urge you to act now, begin today. And let me just warn you, don't make us angry. You wouldn't like us when we are angry. I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Law. Any questions?